Well, hello, Bob Dendry here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, The Long Game. So, last episode we did some sort of more tweaky stuff, introduced some new trains, and just made some fairly minor changes to the network. Today we are going to be moving into something a bit more meaty. So, we are here on our Cross River main line between Wilmington and Everett. Now, this is a bit of a controversial sort of corridor post the Amtrak Conrail split of services. Basically, Amtrak are not happy at the amount of congestion on this corridor due to some quite slow running freight trains running both the feeder services and the sort of mainline freight services. They are causing some issues. And basically, we've been asked to work on a project to lessen congestion in the area. And that's what predominantly, at least the first part of this episode, is going to be about. So basically, what we are wanting to have happen on this sort of section of track is we want to separate specifically our outer suburban loop, but potentially some of our other services we may want to split off as well in the future. And it's not without trouble making this work, because we are quite restricted in terms of what we can do, especially in this little corridor here through Everett. As you can see, we are using pretty much all the room we have. Luckily, the government has stepped in and has agreed to pay Conrail some money to move their freight platforms in the city. Obviously, what we've been seeing throughout this sort of series is that we've been preferring to have our freight services pretty much just lined up with our passenger services where possible, you know, adding on a platform or something like that to handle freight. That's actually going to end as of today here in Everett. So what we'll be doing is shifting our freight services to probably around about here or so. That will allow them to be on the opposite side to where we'll be adding our new pair of tracks, so they won't interfere with that. And it will free up room both for the general development in the town. We'll also move the truck stop as well, so we'll be able to add in some new roads, things like that. And hopefully we can add a few more additional connections into the city, because at the moment there is one single connection here, which, let's be honest, is no good for anyone. There is actually two, which I've just noticed there. But I mean, there's no sort of connectivity anyway to the other half of the city. It's still really the one that everyone's using. So, first of all, we will be setting up our new freight terminus. So we'll move over here and get a station laid down. We'll actually pop this one up to 320. We probably don't need that, but it does just give us a little bit extra room for growth if we do want to potentially, you know, pop in some longer trains here in the long run. So we'll move across there. We will also need to add a new truck station here. We'll also notice we've got a lot of congestion here, and we'll try to tackle that through this episode as well, but we'll see how we go there. We're certainly going to be upgrading these roads from the old dirt roads that they are currently running as. So I'll go ahead and do that now while we're thinking of this. So I'm going to add our truck station like so, and now we just need to work in our connection to the main as well. As you can see, I'm pretty much just building everything to high speed standards now. Makes sense. I mean, not only are these high speed standards, they would also be heavier rails and sleepers as well, which would allow our heavier trains to run on these. So I'm okay with that. So that is the first change we need to make. Next, pretty much all we need to do is switch over our services to be dropping off at our new station, and switching over Everett Freight Loop to pick up there as well. It looks as though we will need to add some new stops as well. In fact, we're probably better off to pretty much start over here, to be honest. So we might just quickly pause. We'll take our Everett Freight Shuttle. We will manage the line. And in fact, what we might actually do is make this double track as well, or at least have an additional platform. because we are running 2 trains here, and we just want to make sure we're covering in case those trains happen to turn up at once as well. We're sort of freed up really with what we can do by separating this out, so I'm okay with that. Alrighty, so that is done. We'll manage our line. We're going to delete Upper Everett and add this as the new station, and we will allow both platforms to be used. That is done. Next, I just want to see what coverage we have. And it looks like we're actually missing quite a lot of coverage now in terms of getting freight delivered here. So I will be adding a few additional freight stops in here. We'll get one in over here. I might just remove the cargo layer so we can see. And let's see, where else do we have these stops? We've got an unload stop there. That's actually decent coverage there. But we could potentially get one more. I think one more will be sufficient. And we're just going to need to rebuild this freight loop. We're going to pretty much start over. And we're not going to be using Everett sidings either, actually. Okay, so that is done there. Should be right to unpause as well now. And once these trucks pop around, which we might as well actually upgrade these trucks as well to some fresh new Kenworths as well. Just to refresh things, I guess. So we're going to demolish this old station here, and then we are going to as well go through and remove the old cargo platforms. Someone's not happy. Trains are mutually blocked. We'll have a look at that in a second if it remains an issue. And we will get another set of tracks. And we should be able to fit another platform in here as well. Beautiful. We might upgrade the roofs on this station as well to take advantage of this refurb we're doing now. Lovely. We will probably get an extra entrance on this side as well, which we possibly did not previously have. This is going to be a new entrance. Way too big. So we should be able to get this one in here. And I think we'll actually extend these platforms as well, because we do have some longer passenger trains that stop here. So it probably makes sense to do that while we're doing this realignment. And we should be right to disconnect these little bits here. And we can sort of start the rebuild. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Can fix that though. What's happening now? This train has no path. Do you just need to turn around? Yeah, you just needed to have a little bit of a think about your life. So we're all sorted there. This is going to be 240 meters, so we will add another 2 bits of track to take it up to 320. And we're just going to silently fix this. Or quickly fix it. I don't know what I'm saying. Looks like we've got a little bit of track we missed right there. And we should be fine now to reconnect this without too much worry. Apparently there is a little bit of worry because we've got a bit of slope here. Potentially fixed now. That doesn't look like too much slope to me. That looks pretty fine. So we're going to need to start to build out this quad track section, which I think should be okay. Should be fairly easy, I would think. Potentially we might want a bridge here, or we could try to bridge here, but probably we don't have quite enough room, I would say. But other than that, we're really building this out without too much impact to like our residential in this area. It looks like it's doing pretty well without deleting a heap of buildings. I think the only one we've really lost was to build a new terminal building, so that's pretty good. I will help the town out by building a few new connections as well to encourage some more growth, I think. Which, yes, of course, we're going to lose a few connections here. That's a given. Or a few buildings, I should say. We don't need this little connection here either. Look at that. Look at that big, huge skyscraper. That is pretty cool. Now, a problem we're going to have is avoiding a conflict with this coal movement. So we might need to see if we can go down and sort of bury under it, which I think should be okay. Maybe. Might need to pull back a little bit. I think overall it's probably going to be fine. Just a little bit further. We did mention our desire to potentially fix this road crossing here, so we're going to take the opportunity now. This will upset our town authorities because we are going to be severing one of their sort of connections that they quite like. But it's fine. We'll fix it. Okay, that's fixed. A little bit ugly there, but I'm going to allow it, to be honest. So we should pretty much be able to continue on. Now, there is a conflicting movement here. I think our coal train is the only one that will really be conflicting. Let's have a look. We've got, looks like 3 different lines that use this, and I just want to work out which is which. So okay, so never mind. So it's the Everett to Salem coal, and then we've got the clockwise and counterclockwise passenger route. So really only 2. So what we will have happen then, so we're going to quickly pause while we give this a fixaroo. Oh, you're actually going to be broken now. This is not the final connection. I'm just allowing the train to get moving and out of the way, and then we will do a better one shortly. In fact, we can pretty much just put the better one in now, I think. These are going to be very high-speed connections, or as high speed as we can get them to be anyway. Just trying to get that to lock in where it belongs. There. Okay, and no double slips, anything like that. That is purely for going from one up to another up, and from one down to another down. So that's fine. We can get rid of this connection here now. And we just need to finish our connection to Wilmington and then on to Dayton. And I think that should be a fairly easy connection. Someone's unhappy again. Got no path electric. Okay. Where is the problem? Let's get electrifying. We might electrify this as well. Wait, why are you on that set of tracks? You shouldn't be there. But that explains why it's broken, because you have ended up on those tracks for some reason. Oh, it's probably because of this little fixing thing we were doing here. Okay, so I'll give you a little temporary connection there just to get you moving in the right direction, and we'll remove that once we're finished building the rest of the line. So what we'll need to do, we will need to shift our running lines over a little bit here because we want to avoid removing houses if we can. We will need to pause for this bit as well because we need to move our freight platform over. Okay, so we're going to need to do a little bit of wizardry here to make this work. So what we'll be doing is pulling out these connections here. We'll actually drag that back a little bit. A bit of a kink here, but it's not reducing the speed all that much, so it's okay. And we're going to add a crossover there to temporarily satisfy that need. And what are our problems now? Wellington Freight Shuttle couldn't connect all stations. You should be able to be honest. Oh, it's because that's like not a real station anymore. So we'll add that station in again. It should be okay. Need to double slip this. That's fine now. Cross River Main Line. We need to switch these platforms. It should be platform 3? No? I don't know what direction. Hang on. Platform 4. Okay, platform 4 and platform 3. Okay, cool. So that is fixed. Our outer suburban loop, they're actually using the right platforms, but we need to change the platforms here. I think is going to be the issue. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. So we should be right to unpause there. No problems. And from here, we pretty much can carry this on. The only question that is going to remain is how do we get our outer loop trains onto our Dayton tracks. There is an option that we may have which could work to actually add some additional platforms in here. But let's just see. Let's run the tracks up and then we'll decide what we're going to do from there. I just love how these do not hook in whatsoever. You need to do like weird things when you're laying them. Okay, so let's have a think of this. I think about this and see how this could potentially work out. So I'm thinking what we might need to do is switch our freight tracks onto the other side, and they will sort of turn this into a bridge, and they will pop under there rather than coming out on this side. That will free us up to do what we need to do with this left pair. So that's what we'll start by doing. Going to rebuild this entire section as a bridge, if we can, which we can't right now. So we might need to lower or push that out like that. So that should be a bridge. Now if we build that, I might also, in fact, push this bit back as well, and see if we can get it built as a concrete bridge rather than whatever the hell this is. Like one of these. A little bit of conflict there. Let's see if this breaks it. No. It's thoughtfully shifted the bridge pylon. So I wonder if we can just punch a line straight through there and if it'll work. Let's see. Oh, we can build again as well. Let's see. Too much slope. No, we might need to pause because we want this to keep going down rather than punching back up as it's, well, I was going to say started to do, but it's been going up the entire time. So let's see. Oh, got some interesting stuff going on there. So what we should be able to do is have this follow and keep going down potentially, and see if we can sort of twist around a little bit, which does work, but we are touching the pylons, so we might need to rebuild a little bit without pylons potentially, something like that. We should be able to get that through. We can. We might even be able to cut it off here and start going back up. And it looks like it's going to be a decent sort of climb we need to do here. Not too bad. Once I build these in, we should be fine to play again. If I'm not mistaken. Hang on a sec. Wait. I've wasted all this time, haven't I? Haven't I? You absolute tool. We didn't need to do any of this because the left side is our existing main line. I've wasted all this time doing this. It's okay. It's fine. We're just going to pretend this didn't happen. We are still going to look at shifting this across. So we did have a platform here, if you remember. But we are going to probably demolish the platform now. It was there pretty much just as a throwback to the times where this was a freight station, and you do see that around the place. You see old freight platforms that are just sort of sitting there not doing a lot. So today we are going to demolish these old platforms, and that's okay. Something we need to keep in mind is that severs our passenger connection as well. So this light rail connection we have on this city, or this side of the city, becomes really infinitely more important. In fact, we don't need to get rid of the right tracks. They are fine. Now we should be able to rebuild our 4 tracks here. It looks like we will lose a few buildings in doing so. That is unfortunate. This bridge might need to be rebuilt as well. Unfortunate. So we have lost a few buildings. Gosh, this is getting crazy. Like, this is a massive rebuild. And honestly, we already did a massive rebuild of these tracks not too long ago. So, shame on me a little bit here, really. I think that should be fine. I might rebuild the under connection first, actually. I was going to do that, then for whatever reason I decided not to, but it's probably important we do that. So we can make sure we actually get under the new bridge. And it might be a challenge. I don't know if we're going to get under like that. I'm assuming we'll be okay, but you never know. That's also not where we're connecting anyway. You absolute silly person. So let's see if we can get over. I wonder if we can just sort of tack ourselves on to the rest of that. Bridge pillar collision here, but that is okay. We can remove that bridge. And, oh, not quite. Okay, that's not too bad though. That's not too bad. But yeah, maybe we need to get rid of the bridge pillars here actually. They might potentially be a bridge too far. Did they get under now? I reckon no. Construction not possible. That tells me we're looking good. Okay, that one connects. What about this one? That's cutting it quite fine, isn't it? Oh, not too bad. We might just need to start bridging a little bit earlier, if we can do that anyway. I'm hoping we can. God, this is... this is a mess. But I think we might just about have it. Okay, I think we're okay. We might need to realign this just a tad because we've got a bit too much curve, I would say. It's slowing it down quite a bit. So it's actually quite a significant realignment. And we need to get you onto the right tracks as well. So just make that connection there temporarily. Will need to be demolished. This has been a, wow, quite a project getting this all into gear and working. Got a collision. I'm not sure what the collision is, because it seems fine. But it's okay, we'll just need to reduce speed a little bit. Okay, so our freight connections should be re-established. And from here, we pretty much just need to make sure our passengers are going where we want them to go. Get this all electrified. I don't think it actually needs to be electrified right now, but hey, we're going to do it anyway. Now, so this middle set of tracks will now be our loop line. So we do need to allow crossovers to happen, to sort of cross over onto this set of tracks and vice versa. We might need to switch those connections around a little bit, but this should be fine. Yep, that's absolutely okay. And add in that cross connection effect. That should be okay. Oh, okay. No, that's a little bit ugly. I don't like that. That's okay though. Should be okay if we split it off but don't actually pair up. I think it should have the right slope if we do that. No, it's still not great. Other thing we could do is have this section match the slope of the other section and see if that works. I just want it to look nice. That's like my main concerns here, is making sure it looks nice. That connection should be good there, and then that should be okay as well. Okay, I think that's okay. I think that should work. We've got pretty much everything where it needs to be. That is not connected, but it is now. Ooh, we're getting some too much slope errors here. Are they not level? Obviously they're not, because they're not like ballast isn't joined. So we might need to pull those back and see if we can fix that one. Okay, that's better. So these crossovers should work now. Okay, it works. I'm going to assume our only disconnections right here are our passenger line. In fact, only one of them is even a problem. So just thinking on what we need to do. So you need to come across to a different set of platforms. 3 should fix it. Perfect. Counterclockwise, we'll switch that to 4. Dayton, give them their own tracks, and then finally, Cross River Mainline will get a brand new pair of tracks. That will be 5 and 6. Okay, so this all works now. So we can unpause and it should run. We have no signaling on this on this stretch though, which is going to cause some headaches. But aside from that, yeah, looks good. All right, and we've got this new deviation. I'm going to leave those old tracks there just because why not? You can imagine them like rusting up and stuff like that, I guess. And yeah, we've got some signaling we need to place down. Then we're going to do the same in the other direction. Eventually, let's actually pause this. Let's pull out all the old signals first, and we'll upgrade them to our new light signals. And I think, unless I am dreadfully mistaken, we should be able to pull out this connection as well. And it looks like yes. We can, though not that connection. That one's an important one. Perfect. Okay. Love it. We should be able to continue this on. Wonder what broke the other one. Oh, never mind. It was the fact that that joins on. So we will continue auto signaling all of that. That should go pretty much into the station. Beautiful. And we can do that. And that should auto signal all of this now. And yeah, looks good. Looks good indeed. Okay. Looks like we do have some more signaling we need to do through here though. That's okay though. I think we should be able to pull out this little sneaky connection we added in as well. Yeah, cool. We probably do want to add our crossovers back in. If anything, just because... Actually, no, we don't need to be honest. Having crossovers in does help, I guess, the lines to be more maintainable, allows us to, I guess, respond to like issues on the network by having trains like reverse and go back at a different station, things like that. But it's not absolutely necessary. So we're not going to utilize them in this case. So this should now be a lot faster. Hopefully the frequency will be a little bit higher as well. Got to train every 3 minutes. We've got to train every 3 minutes on this line now, which I think is really good. The line itself is looking nice and profitable. Counterclockwise one isn't at the moment, which is interesting, but it could be due to the disruption sort of with the construction and all that. So I'm not necessarily concerned right now. I think this overall has been a really good decision to get this all switched across. So yeah, quite happy with this. Another pinch point, actually quite close to Dayton, is this little joint up here where you have this bottleneck where you've got 4 lines in, 4 lines out, and just a single track in the middle. So what we're going to do here is just put in another pair of tracks that will basically allow our passenger trains to essentially just go wherever they need to go. This will be I guess what you call a flying junction. And it should, if I build this correctly, should enable us to really pretty much go anywhere we want without much conflict. And I'm just sort of thinking now exactly how this works. Okay, so... This is actually, I was going to say it's complicated. It's really not that complicated. This line is okay, doing pretty much whatever it wants or needs to do. We're okay with that. It can come down, hopefully. It's actually going to take a while to get all the way down, isn't it? Don't necessarily care. I think that's okay. Then we will also... Well, first of all, actually, can we get up that high? Because that is quite high. Can we get back down? Looks like we'll be okay. It's actually a little bit gross. Might see if we can make that a little bit nicer. Possibly. This is a fugly, isn't it? Yeah. Actually, I've got an idea. It's okay. I think we've got mischief managed here. I'll reconnect that. That is okay. And this direction, let's see if we can get a tunnel. Ooh. No. We're going to struggle, actually, aren't we? We're going to sever the connection now. Can we connect those? We can. That is good. Should fix. No, it doesn't quite fix, of course, because we've still got this guy that needs to hook in. But I think that should be it, really. Actually, like, literally nothing is connected up, is it? Just trying to see how far back we can take this and have it still. Oh, hang on. Oh, yes. Walked into the wrong thing. Now, I'm well aware that this is absolutely fugly, but it works, and I think that is the important thing that we need to bear in mind. We do still have some issues with the inner line. Why is that? It's because we haven't connected the inner line up. Okay, so, wow, Dayton. I think it's time to spritz up the inner line. So we are running some old stock. It is pre-Amtrak stock, so I want to jump in there. We will probably replace these trains and maybe get another 2 on there, because we've got a frequency of 23 minutes. That's not great. We want to improve that. But first of all, we'll get these replaced. I think these are 240 meter long at the moment, so we will maintain that. And we will be running these as diesel trains as well. All right, so we'll get them all replaced, and we will get another 2 running as well. So that is going to almost double the frequency, of course, obviously, because we're doubling the amount of trains. Duh. But yeah, that should be hopefully a good improvement on the inner line. All right, and we've just replaced our trains on the inner line, so we're going to take the opportunity to jump on them for a ride along on our brand new fresh Amtrak trains. And this should also give us a good opportunity to have a look at all the different changes we've made at the station at Dayton. So hop aboard, and I hope you enjoy. Well, what a wild trip it's been, and what a wild, junction this is. So I'm reasonably happy with these trains. I think they are probably good for, I guess, the situation they find themselves in. As you can see, there's a few slowdowns. There's some lower speed tracks still in place. And I think these trains really do well as one of those sort of intermediate, not quite a local train, but definitely not one of our fast express trains that we're running with those metro liners or anything like that. But no, I'm really a big fan of these. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the ride along. And what a transformation Dayton has had in this episode. We've done one of these before, and yeah, it just wasn't working how we built it before. So we've done some quite extreme changes, especially with the flyover to the right hand side of the screen as we're looking now. But look, we just needed to do it. Amtrak wasn't happy with the configuration, and of course the government came to the table with some money to make things work a little bit better. But yeah, that's about all we have time for in this episode, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you get a ding to your device the next time we post a video. You can find links to all my social media in the description, so please jump on there, like, follow, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. Big shout out to my Founders Club patrons, Caleb and Isaiah. Thank you so much to the two of you for helping to make this content possible. But until next time, I'm Bob Dendry. This is Transport Fever 2, The Long Game. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.